Alright guys, Raiden here. Welcome back to the channel. A little bit different today. I'm going to be doing a deck profile for Pendulum Magicians. ZARC deck focused. So I've always loved playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This is something I've been doing like a good chunk of my life, and I'm not going to become like a Yu-Gi tuber or anything like that. This is just something I'm doing on the side that I enjoy to do. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm doing a locals tournament tomorrow, so I'm a little bit excited. I just wanted to kind of showcase what I'm going to be going in there with. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the profile. So we are starting with the staples. We're running three Supreme King Gate Magician. This is pretty much the white version of Astrograph Sorcerer. Like, he's broken. He's a really good card. This is your main card, pretty much. Your searcher. This is how you're going to get out of ZARC. You really want to draw into him at least one copy. If you don't, you could get, there's another way to get around to this if you don't draw into him, and I'll show you guys later. I'll do maybe a small combo, but you kind of want to open with at least one copy of him. Excuse me, one copy of him, or a way to search him. So yeah, this is like your main, like, you want to see this card as much as humanly possible. This is kind of an unpopular, I would say, option, but I see this one a lot too. Triple Chronograph. This is good because this deck like dies to Ash, or anything that kind of like stops your 2-card summon so that you can Pendulum summon. So the point of the deck is, what you really want to do is you want to get 2 monsters on the field. You need 2 bodies without normal summoning. Maybe 1 noble summon and then the other one, but the goal is to get 2. I'll show you a combo in a little bit to kind of describe how the deck runs, more of like an explanation and the reason why I'm choosing these cards. But for right now, I'm just going to show you guys, what I'm choosing. But Chronograph is really good. In fact, I can show you right now. So Chronograph has an effect where you put him in the scales, he'll pop himself, and then you can put Time Gazer in the monster zone or in the Pendulum zone. So that's like the main reason why I'm running him. And then, of course, without question, we got to get 3 Skull Combat Joker. Like, obviously, you got to have him. He's your searcher. He pretty much searches every card in the deck. He misses, I think, literally he misses 1 target, I think, or 2. But practically every monster in the deck, he can search. You need this. It's non-negotiable. You have to run at 3, or the deck is just, like, it loses a lot of consistency. 2 Double Iris. I would run 3 of this, but I can't find my 3rd one, so I don't have time to look. I already had to go to storage to get a bunch of cards, so we're going to just go ahead and run this one at 2 because this is what I have. Really great card. He has a lot of good effects. He's a dark and a target for another card that I'll show you later to kind of explain this deck. But yeah, he has a target for a light monster that I'll show later. But he searches cards upon destruction, your Pendulum Graph cards that you'll need, so he's really good. 2, Harmonizing. You could run 3. I personally feel like 3 is a little cluttery simply because you kind of don't want to open with it. You can, but generally I'd rather open with like a Magician card, a different type, like the White Astrograph, or maybe even Wisdom Eye. You don't really want to open with this. It's always going to show up. I've never had a match where I didn't see this in either the fact that I had to search it or that I hard drew it. But it's always going to be there. It's your bread and butter for your combo extender, but it's like, it's not the first thing you'll open with, so 2 is fine. 1 Wisdom Eye. You want to run 2. I've been thinking about it. I'm running 1 for consistency to test something, but I'll probably run 2 for multiple reasons. For 1, he can fix your scales. If you have 2 magicians in your Pendulum zone, he can destroy himself and swap it out with another one. If you lose this card, like, you lose a lot, simply because of that effect, and he is a target for another card I'll show you later, a spell card. He's literally a target for every dark pendulum in the deck. This is your target. So running 1 is kind of dangerous. I'm gonna up it to 2. You could even go 3. I might even do 3, simply because seeing him is never a bad thing. You can draw into 2 cards. You can draw into 2 copies of him and go full combo with 2 of these, just 2. So yeah, run deals at 3. I just had one because I'm gonna look for my other ones, but run it at 3, at least 2, nothing else. Now we're gonna do our one ofs. So we got one time gazer. That's our target for chronograph. The one dark worm. We got a one donut. We got the mandatory run of odd eyes. This is a target for a trap card that I came out in a recent, I think it's Age of Overlord. So he's a target for that. I'll explain why you run him, but you would only run him in a deck that requires ZARC to be summoned the old-fashioned way. If you're gonna summon ZARC the new way, you wouldn't need that card. So the donut, self-explanatory. Dark worm is mandatory. You have to run dark worm. I don't really think I need 2. You could go to 2, but I generally don't need more than 1. It'll get negated, and then I can just hit it with this other spell card. I'll show you in a minute. I usually just hit it with it's over here somewhere, but it's a spell card I usually use, and it gets the job done. I usually hit it with what was it called? A Shadow's Light, and it'll special summon. I'll show you a quick combo as to why the reason I play these cards, and then these are your next one ofs. One Astrograph because we can only run one. One Supreme King Lightworm. He is again another target for Darkworm. So he's an busted card. You could run this at 2. Honestly, I might run it to 2. I don't find myself needing to, but you could. He's not a cluttery card. He's an 8 scale. A lot of the cards I run are like a 1 scale, so it works. But it could simply just be 1 if you're really trying to go fast. But if they banish this or something, it could kind of hurt you. So don't be afraid of running that 2. And this is just for utility. This is an extra body on the field or a pop. If I have a problem card, he's searchable. He has the same effect. So even if they negate this, he'll go from the top of the pendulum zone, and then he'll go in the graveyard, and it does the same thing. So it's a great card. That's it for the pendulum monsters. As far as hand traps, we just run Droll. I find Ash doesn't really do as much lately. Like lately with the meta, like people get Ash and keep playing. People have even played through my Drolls, so I don't know how I'm going to perform with this. I might swap it out for Ash if I think Droll is going to miss a lot of their cards, because people have effects that say send from the deck to the graveyard, in which case Droll won't do anything. It's just a deck to hand. So I don't know. I'm debating about this, but for right now, we got to run one set of hand trap because to try to help you play. So that's it for the monsters. Now onto the spells. Triple Shadow's Light. Man, this card, I randomly was at a locals one day and I saw this in someone's binder. It's one of the coolest cards for this deck I think I've ever seen. So while I'm here, let me explain why I'm running this. And I'm going to just break it down real easy. There's a lot of card text. I'm not going to explain it like that, but I can just show you the reason I run this and the targets. So let's say you have one Shadow's Light, and then you draw either of these. It doesn't matter. Either you draw this. It's either you draw Harmonizing, or either you draw Darkworm. So let's say you play Darkworm, right? They're gonna negate it. Like if they have an Imperm or a Veiler, they're gonna negate this card. Nobody's gonna let Darkworm start, because anybody that knows anything about pendulums, they know this is your combo starter. So they're gonna negate it, and you think, oh, I'm screwed over. No, you play Shadow's Light, and it's gonna give you 2 effects. The first effect is you can grab a monster from the deck, special summon it, the same type and the same level, but a different not the same type, a different a light version of that. So this is a dark dragon. You can summon a light dragon, and bam, now you have 2 bodies on the field. Yes, he lost his search, but now you have a second body on the field. This is crucial with a pendulum deck. You need this to happen. If they stop your combos and it gets to a point to where all you have is one normal summon and you have to pendulum summon, you practically ruin your whole board. And unless you might as well scoop, because at that point, they just screw you. So this card is damn near mandatory. I would argue like you kind of need to play this. You don't have to because there are alternatives. There are different ways to get there, but it's like you need to, and that's not the end. Once you summon this out, it has a graveyard effect. You can banish it from the graveyard and get a second normal summon. That's why I run it. The first effect is nice. It's good. You know, it gets the job done. It's the fact that you could normal summon a second time. This single card could help you play through Ash, Droll. Let's say they Ash this, you can keep playing. They Ash your special summon. So let's say you activate this, they Ash it, so this never comes out. Now you have a second normal summon, and you might have another card in your hand that you can't. You know, now you just double normal summon. Let's say you already had this in your hand, and you normal this, they negate it. You activate this, they Ash it. Then you just normal another card in your hand, and bam, it's off the rails. So like this card, like people really sleep on this. I don't really see anybody play it. It's great in multiple decks. If you have level 4s with different types, so light and dark, amazing card. Like more people need to play this. I swear to God, it's fantastic. And same for this. You know, you normal that, and you activate Shadow's Light on it. It's gonna summon your White Wing. This is why I said you need to run more than one, because if they banish this or it's in the graveyard, this card is dead for this effect. So you hit that, it won't resolve because you need a light level 4 magician, and this is the only one I could find. If there's another one, you know, you guys let me know in the comments, but this is the only one I could find. So yeah, 2 or 3 easy of this because you don't want to lose your only target for Shadow's Light. We're running 3 Dark Ruler because this is going second, obviously. This is your board breaker. If you're going second, you lose the dice roll, and you're scared about just dealing with that oppressive board that is like really common nowadays. I don't know how it is for you guys, but out here in LA, like locals are crazy, and people they build these boards, and it's like I can't play, you know. So I gotta run Dark Ruler because they'll have like at least the basic board can do like 3 negates. So Dark Ruler is kind of mandatory. You could swap these out for something else like Evenly. It doesn't have to be Dark Ruler, but I find that Dark Ruler is best because they can't respond to it, and most people don't run back row nowadays for some reason. So that kind of works for me. It's easier. You gotta run 3 because obviously we have nowhere to search it. So they were running 2 tactics talent. I would do 3, but I don't have 3, and they're expensive, but I just haven't got around to it. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to buying cards online, simply because of the fact that I go to a local and I want to use it right then, and then they don't have it. Like my locals has none of the staples. Like they don't have they have Ash, but they don't have like the good cards like this and stuff. So, but yeah, 2 of it's fine. You might not even need 3 because it's only ever good turn 1. After that, it's pretty much a dead card. And for the last set of spells, we're running Dragon Shrine. You want Dark Worm in the graveyard. You want him in the graveyard. You want him in the graveyard. You do not want to normal summon Dark Worm. If you're normal summoning Dark Worm, you are at a disadvantage. Understand that. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're already, you know what I mean? This is get him in the graveyard. You could run Destrudo. I'm thinking about adding Destrudo to the deck, but I have a Destrudo. But right now, I don't remember if he's banned or not. But that's it for the spells, guys. We're going over to traps. So for the traps, you know, obviously this kind of goes without saying. Needs no explanation. Great card. Can't go wrong with it. It's a hand trap going second. Good set going first. Negates the whole roll. Like we know what Impermanence does. It's never a bad card. Like it's great, man. Like I got these. These are those gold ones, by the way, from that 10 back in the day. I think this was. I don't think it was from Dual Power, but yeah, I got those little pretty ones, you know. So yeah, Impermanence needs no introduction. We know what Impermanence does. Time Pendulum Grab. This is an oldie but goodie. If you run Magicians, you know what this card does. There is an effect where I might make another video. I don't want this video to go on too long. I might make a combo video. Yeah, I think I'll make a different video because I don't want this video to go too long. It's already about to be 15 minutes. I really wasn't trying to have it go that long, but Yeah, this is the deck profile, so I'll stick to that. But this card is amazing. You search it out with double iris, and it has two effects. It has a pop, a small protection, which doesn't really matter, and a chance to send a card to the graveyard. In my next video, I'll explain why this card is really good, but it's a double pop for your magicians. So, it's great. And then the new guys that are in the park. This is the Summon ZARC. This serves no other purpose than this Summon ZARC. Your target for this is this. You need a 2500 level monster, a spellcaster with 2500 attack or more. The only other target is Astrograph, but there's only one Astrograph, so you only ever target this. You tribute it, and then you get ZARC. The only downfall is you have to summon ZARC the old school way, meaning the XYZ, the Synchro, the Pendulum, and the Fusion. You can't summon with this card. You can't summon it using these. I don't think. Actually, I could be wrong. It's treated as that, but I'm not sure the original name. I'm not sure. But every time I summon this, you could get ZARC turn 1 with this. If you open with this and practically any other card, like even this, that's turn 1 ZARC. That's like, it turbos out ZARC. It's turn 1 ZARC. Just these two alone. Or this, that's ZARC. Just those two cards, that's ZARC. It sounds crazy, right? That's ZARC. These two cards alone will get you to ZARC. I'm gonna upload a little combo video to show you why. The just two card combo. You see this full? This is ZARC. You see this? That's full combo. You know, with a negate. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But this card is great. It's a turn 1 ZARC. You know, we can finally get out ZARC consistently now, as long as they don't negate this. And then negate this, then you know you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. But that's it for the traps. Now let's get over to the extra deck. So this is, I guess, the weaker version of Electromite. She's a really good card, good searcher. I'm under the impression that her search effect is a soft once per turn, so if you summon her again, you could do it again. But yeah, this is a great card. It's all we have right now. I would even suggest running 2 because of how good of a card it is. It's like you start all your combos with this. If they negate this, you're in trouble. We're running Exceed the Pendulum. You could even run 2 of these. It's the same thing in a sense. It's like her, but she's leveled up. This is your new version of Celine. This is better than Celine because if you don't draw spells, Celine won't work. And if you're using your skills, you only have 2 spell counters, so this is better than Celine for this deck because it can special summon from your hand or from the graveyard. And then it'll grab a card from your face-up extra deck. So this is, run this instead of Celine. I used to run Celine, but when that came out, I switched. And now we're going to have a little, this video is going on too long. We have a nice little set of our XYZ monsters. Baguska, we have Odd Eyes Vortex. This is for Vortex Dragon, Absolute, 2 level 7s. And, you know, this is our target for ZARC. This is in case you get a bad hand and you just want to try to survive a couple games. This is for Vortex Dragon because you're never going to keep him there. Link him off or something and then you summon Vortex. And then this is mandatory because we're running the OG version of ZARC. This is my new way of summoning these guys. So you need 2 XYZ monsters at the same level, and they have to be not number monsters. So it's really easy to get these guys out. What you want to do is summon him, and he can give you a card, summon him, and then he'll special open that card from your hand. So they go great together. They're easy to summon. This is any level 4, plus he's a Pendulum, and he's a scale 8, so he can come back. And then Time Gazer searches practically every card in your deck, with the exception of, unfortunately, Light Magician. And he has an interaction with another card. Omni-Negate. That's your Omni-Negate. You summon him with these 2. So you go like that. Stack him. Stack that. And now you have what? 3 card Omni-Negate. And then if he negates a card that was on the field, he takes it. A monster. So, yeah. And he can't be destroyed by battle card effect, which is crazy. Like, he's hard to deal with. So, great card. Like, amazing card for this deck because he's easy to summon the deck. Now for the synchro, we're on the deals, mandatory clear synchro, and then Regeki. You can summon this on your opponent's turn with a setup I'll show you in my next video because I don't want this one to go too long. You could use this as your Regeki on their turn, blows up the field, and it has a good burn effect. This is mandatory because we're running the OG ZARC, and this is just in case, you know, you have a bad hand and you want to summon a good level 8. Can't be destroyed by battle card effects, and it has a, you know, he gains attack based on the negative attack you lose. So if somebody's attacking you with a 4K beater, he'll get 1,000, and yeah. Does he burn you? I don't remember. Yeah, he gains that extra attack. So if you take 1,000 damage, now he's 4,000. So good card. I don't see him much, so I've actually snuck up a couple of W's from him. Mandatory starving venom. This is your negate absolute dragon target. Good card, great in the deck. You could even run 2, wouldn't be a problem. I would say if you have a way to shuffle him back in the deck, you could run a second one, but I'm usually good with just one because I have other ways of negating cards. I never summon this except to use it for ZARC. In a pinch, you could summon it, but I never do. So. And then, of course, last but not least, the king himself. One of the strongest cards in the deck, can't be destroyed by card effects, cannot be targeted by anything, and is a 4K beater. Plus, when he destroys one of your monsters, your opponent's monsters, he special summons this, which is going to Regeki, so he can kill one monster. You bring this guy out, and he'll wipe the board. So, great card. ZARC is amazing. I love him. Favorite Pendulum card in the game. And now with this new, you know, Spell and Trap support, he's really easy to summon. Now for the side deck. This is pretty much just like, you know, the extra utility that you might need. You're running your Ash. I run MST because you don't want cards in the graveyard in this deck. You can switch this out for Cosmic Cyclone, but Twin Piercers would be disadvantageous. You need your card. You don't really use the graveyard in this deck, so I wouldn't do that. And then we use the Sarvis for our other hand trap. This is good if they impermanence you on your first turn. If you happen to draw into it, or you're dealing with somebody that has a heavy negate deck, or they use a lot of cards like that. If something your card, anything targets. So this is good because this will negate impermanence. That's literally the only reason I run it. So if I'm going and I have it in my hand and it negate something with an impermanence, I can just slap that down, throw it to the graveyard, and then I can keep playing. So those are your extra hand traps. A small engine I run is the Dracos. This is easy to summon because he's a level 8, and he has a cool interaction with it, actually with Time Pentagram, which I'll explain in my next video. And this summons this. If he is summoned by his effect or Pendulum Summon, you get this, and that's a cool little lockout. Nobody can play spells if they don't control the spellcaster. You always will, so cool little spell lockout. Nice card. Plus, he can shuffle himself back into the deck and be recycled. Second, Beyond the Pendulum, we are running. This is an option. I gotta get my copy of Instant Fusion, but this is good going second and only going second. Or if you want to start your combos going turn 1, but it's really better going second because you can steal their card or have him on the field, and then while you're building up your board, if they activate anything, he can just negate it and steal it. It's a pretty card. I got it at a combo convention. I won it actually at a combo convention, so I run it for that reason. And then we have our synchro version of ZARC. He's not hard to summon in this deck. It's 12, so you can go 4, 8, 12. You have to use Dark Worm plus Light Worm, but it's just a nice beater. He goes into the scales. He's just really pretty. Like his effects even aren't really all that good. I just run him because I love ZARC. But yeah, so that's it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you for watching. I will be uploading a combo video next, like probably right after this, so you guys can kind of see where my mindset is with the deck and you know how I kind of want to play my version of ZARC. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm back. You know, I'll try to be more consistent. I missed the channel, and for however many people watched me, I'll still be uploading other types of content. This is more like a variety channel, so gaming, commentary, and stuff like that. But you know, I'm back now, so I missed you guys. Been a rough start, but we here. So thank you guys. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you next video. Bye.